What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Opinions. My name is Jason Sims, and today's video is going to be revolving around the topic of honesty versus kindness. Which one is preferred and which one is better, in my opinion? So, in my opinion, being honest has more benefits than being kind. While you can be kind while being honest. However, in my realm of thinking, I want to say a little bit more than half the time when you're being kind, you are actually, in a way, suppressing and reserving some of the honesty. Okay, so, for example, if one of my best friends, they're wearing a shirt that I don't particularly find intriguing or suitable for their body type, whether it's the fit, the color, the design, whatever it may be, and they ask me for my opinion, being kind would say, oh, yeah, I like it. So that is me being kind. They're asking me for my opinion, and I don't want to hurt their feelings. And I'm suppressing my honesty, my brutal opinion about the shirt. Being honest, on the other hand, would be saying, I don't really like it that much. That right there, it may seem a little too blunt. However, if you seem like you're coming off as too blunt, then you would want to, or it would be more desirable and kinder. See what I did there? It's kinder that you explain to them why you don't approve of whatever shirt they're wearing. And this could be for a myriad of topics. It can be for the person that they're dating, the car that they're driving, clothes, what they're wearing. Like I said, it could be a ton of different examples. And the reason why I say honesty is much better than being kind, and being honest and kind, they can go hand in hand. There can be overlap between the two. And the reason why I say being honest is better than being kind is because, in a way, like stated earlier, if you're being kind, in my opinion, it's more of you are suppressing and reserving some of the more blunt and straightforward truths, and you're saving someone that brutal honesty. But being honest, it means you are not afraid to hold back, right? And also, going along with that, being honest also means that you aren't afraid to cut the BS. You aren't afraid to tell them how it is. Especially with a best friend group. So in my best friend group, if anyone asks me for my honest opinion, I will tell them like it is. Because if I'm being kind to them and saying something looks flattering on them when it really isn't, I'm not doing them any justice, because I'm intentionally suppressing and lying to them, saying that whatever that they're doing, I'm condoning it, when in reality, I am not condoning it in any way, shape, or form, and therefore I'm saving them I'm sparing them, or I'm saving them the hurt feeling, the unhurt feeling, if I were not to be honest with them. And a perfect example would be one of my best friends. We were chilling all day. This was this past weekend on a Saturday. We were chilling all day. I haven't seen him in a while. I've known this best friend since high school. So essentially, I've known him for about 8+ years. We grabbed lunch together. We were chilling at the park, and then we went to my other best friend's house. And then after that, I drove him back home. So in the car ride, after we chilled at our other best friend's house, he was informing me of this girl that he's dating. And he had some he had some reservations. He had some reservations about this girl that he was dating. So he told me a little bit about what was going on. And knowing his and just understanding his past dating history, I told him straight up like it is. I told him that, well, just to get into a little bit of background information, she has an active history with one. I've never met his current girlfriend before. I've only heard anecdotes, and in one instance that he referenced her in is, she's a singer, and I've heard one of her songs. Great voice. And he also informed me that she performed one of her songs with her ex-boyfriend. And in my opinion, I am not the fondest of any girlfriend, whether I'm dating them or whether or not my best friend is dating them, that they have an active relationship with one another. Because in my opinion, it will resurface any past history and emotion, whether positive or negative, and you don't know where it's gonna go from there. But that's for another video. Anyway, knowing my best friend's dating history and patterns. Oh, also, before we get into that, so on top of my best friend's current girlfriend being active, or being somewhat active, from what I remember from what he told me, being somewhat active in her with her ex-boyfriend being somewhat active in her life. Of course, we all have those second guesses, those second thoughts, those reluctant moments where we're thinking, is this gonna work out? How's this gonna play out? And I know I'm going off topic, but I swear I'm getting to the point of being honest. He had some doubts. He had some reluctance, which is completely understandable. And on top of that, he divulged to me that they were staying at a hotel room because that's where he was staying. Well, that's where my best friend's current girlfriend's ex-boyfriend was staying, and she just had to drop something off for him. And also, they were staying in a hot tub together, just the two of them. And that already just sent off an alert, a red flag. Like a wee, danger, 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 don't pursue. Like that kind of alert. So I told him straight up, no lie, no nothing. I said, I think you should let this girl go, 100%. Because knowing his dating history, he tends to fall into these traps. So I told him straight up, I think you should let her go, either soon or as soon as possible. And he understood where I was coming from. And I also told him, you should you're skating on really, really thin ice, and you should be careful because I love my best friend like a brother, and I hate to see him in another situation like this because it's happened in the past. And B, it's going through any relationship like that, it's brutal. Just having those second guessed thoughts, even though your significant other, your current significant other is with you in that moment. Yes, you're going to have all of those honeymoon phased feelings, and yes, you're going to have those feelings where you brush some of those feelings off of saying, "Oh, she's with me, she chose me for a reason." So there would be no other reason why that she would have an ex-boyfriend or a friend that she friend zoned within her vicinity, within her emotional vicinity. So that I can understand. However, like I said, being totally blunt and honest, because if I was just being kind to him and saying, "Oh, just wait it out, just see how it goes," it would have done him absolutely no justice whatsoever. Because I would spare him the feelings that, oh, he's in a relationship. I should be happy for him. And yes, don't get me wrong, I am happy for my best friend that he's in a relationship because he deserves nothing but happiness. However, simultaneously, if I just sugarcoated whatever I was going to say and I just let him write him out, I wouldn't have done him any justice. Solely for the fact that I was sparing him his feelings. I want him to be happy. And also him knowing me, he would have known that whatever I was telling him, he would have detected the bullshit. I don't know if I'm gonna get any hate for swearing, but he would have cut through the BS immediately because he knows that I have a personality of being truthful, brutally honest. And honestly, see what I did there? But honestly, especially if someone is your best friend and you want nothing but for the best for them, yes, being kind is an all-time altruistic characteristic to have. However, if you're being kind to spare someone's feelings on a serious topic, for example, if they are reluctant with someone that they're with because of X, Y, and Z personality traits or characteristics, being kind to them spares them nothing. Well, okay, I take that back. You're only sparing their feelings, and you're not being 100% their best friend. Being honest with them, it's the best possible solution that you can conjure up, because not only are you showing them that you care about them with whatever advice that you're giving them, because you care about them so much, you don't want to see them hurt, you don't want to see them in despair, and that goes for anything else. But you are also ensuring them that in the future, whatever advice that they need, that is required, that is necessary in the given moment, that they can rely on you to be the most honest person that you can be, and they can rely on your opinion because you have a track record, you have a history of being brutally honest. And like I said, that can go for a lot of things. And from personal experience, there are circumstances where it is appropriate to be brutally honest, and there are other circumstances where kindness from a friendship or kindness from a building relationship can slowly evolve itself with stepping stones, baby steps, with everything. Baby steps for everything. But if you're in a evolving friendship or an evolving relationship, those small cornerstones, those small milestones of kindness can later evolve into being brutally honest. Because at the end of the day, everyone, in my opinion, at the end of the day, I will I will I will always have the most trust with someone. I will create a more robust bond, camaraderie with someone who is brutally honest. And like I said, brutal honesty, it's all circumstantial. It depends on the person, it depends on the situation that you're in, that you and someone else are in. It's all circumstantial, and it also depends on the camaraderie of the person. But once you have established that camaraderie, that level of friendship, whether it's with your friends, family, family, you should always be brutally honest. Because what? You can't choose your families. You can choose your friend circle of families, and that's a different video. But you can't choose your family, who you were born into and living with. So in that case, yeah, I feel you can be 100% honest with anyone in your family. But if it's with a friendship, if it's an evolving relationship, whether romantic, sexual, whatever, those need foundational baby steps for it to evolve. But like I stated earlier, the people that I will trust 100%, I will trust the most are those, not only are those who are the most brutally honest, but they're truthful. Because, and also, you will know those who are brutally honest by the way that they communicate, their vernacular. Also, when they just get straight to the point. They're not going to give you a whole entire backstory of why you did. I mean, yes, they will give you checkpoints. They will give you bullet points on why something should be done this way and that way. And that's the component of being brutally honest. However, they will cut through all of the fluff, they will cut through all the BS, they will go straight to the point. It's like you're pulling a bowstring with an arrow, and they're shooting their honesty straight through their target, straight through what you ask them to be brutally honest about. And yes, being kind, and yes, being kind, there is a component of being kind with honesty. You don't have to badger someone and saying, "Oh, why the F are you so stupid? You little piece of ass. You're such a B. You didn't do this correctly." No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you have to throw in profanity for every other word and sentence. That's not what I'm saying. You can have a polite conversation with someone and still be brutally honest. And it's entirely, and this is another critical component. Whether or not the person that you're conversing with who wants your honest opinion, it's entirely up to that person whether or not they want to heed to your advice and turn your advice into action. It's entirely up to them. Just like these videos. Like I said, these are entirely opinion-based videos. You can agree with me or not. It's up to you. I'm not coercing you to be brutally honest with someone or be completely kind to them. It's entirely up to you. However, at the end of the day, in my opinion, it is much better to be brutally honest, so then that way you are not sparing someone's feelings and you tell them how it is. And also, just piggybacking off of it's entirely up to that person to take your advice. Yes, it is. At the end of the day, they are an autonomous, individual human being. You're not coercing anyone. If they ask for your opinion, You you did your you did your duty. You told them exactly how it is and how you feel and how you should commence with whatever situation that you asked their advice for. If they take it, great. If it works out, excellent. If it doesn't, and then if it doesn't, so what? People make mistakes all the time with advice. And also, it is the person seeking that brutal honesty's responsibility to also evaluate, analyze, either during or afterward, how someone else's opinion that they sought after will affect their response, will affect the outcome, the consequences of the situation, of the circumstance. Yes, you can take every bit of advice that they sought after from the other person to a T. 100% boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna do everything that they said, and let's see how it works out. And there are other instances where you can somewhat tweak each little tidbit piece of advice, and then make it your own. Or you can just chuck the entire thing out the window and just go on your merry way and see how things work out. But like I said, it's entirely up to the person who sought out advice whether or not they want to take it for a grain of salt, or if their advice moved mountains and not just pebbles. So yeah. So that's my take on it. That being brutally honest, being cutthroat about your opinion, is better than being kind, and also kindness and brutal honesty, they can intertwine. So with that being said, that's today's video. If you and also don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that way you are immediately pinged of whenever I upload another video. And let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think it's better to be brutally honest? Do you think it's better to spare someone's feelings by being kind? Or if you think that there's a happy medium between being brutally honest and being kind. Well, that's all for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Peace.